Good morning to all of you. Myself, Mahesh Ashok Kunte, and I will be dealing with English. Today, we are going to begin with the new lesson 1.2 on saying please. Now, when we meet with the people in the society, our behavior should be very polite, very courteous, and definitely we behave very politely and very courteously with the other people in our daily life, with our friends, with our family, with the stranger people also. We behave very courteously, and we use courtesy words in our daily life. Here, activity number one is given for listing out the words of courtesy that we use in our daily life. Like, for example, they have given one example here, thank you. Now, what other words we use in our daily life of courtesy, like sorry, or you're welcome, so sweet of you, so nice of you, thank you, beg your pardon. Such courteous words we use in our daily life. And most of the times we have some purpose of using such words, like whenever somebody helps us or gives us some help, then we say thank you to show some respect, to show some courtesy. Or when we make some mistake, we say sorry to show our respect. And it is very important to use such words of courtesy in our daily life. Now, in this second activity, some character traits are given, character traits of the people. Some are positive and some are negative. Now, definitely, the positive traits are very desirable, which are needed in a human being, and the negative traits of the character are not desirable, they are undesirable. So here they have asked us to take out the ones we feel which are desirable ones, like insensitive, it is undesirable. Sly, it is also undesirable. Humorous, it is desirable. Knave, desirable. Aggressiveness, it is undesirable. Scheming or plotting, it is undesirable. Wise, desirable. Boastful, undesirable. Humble, desirable. Patronizing, undesirable. Generous, desirable. So, all the positive traits of the characters are very much desirable, or which are very important to be the character traits of a human being, but which are negative, those are not at all desirable. Now, when we meet the people, our manners are very important. Etiquettes, how we behave with the people, that are very important for a person to live in the society. Now, let us read these following examples of etiquettes and manners and just classify them appropriate or inappropriate. Let's see and classify them. To receive a phone calls while you are in the lecture or a class, it is inappropriate. To knock before you enter your principal's office, it is an appropriate manner. To thank the person who offers you tea or coffee, it is very much appropriate manner. To be polite and courteous to others, appropriate manner. To leave the classroom without the teacher's permission. What do you think? Yes, it is inappropriate. To occupy seats reserved for ladies or physically challenged or elderly people on a bus or a train. It is inappropriate a manner. So there are some manners which are inappropriate and the etiquettes and manners which are appropriate here. Now today here we are going to read a very interesting lesson written by Alfred George Gardiner on saying please. This writer Alfred George Gardiner is very unique, uh, and his uniqueness of writing lies in his ability to teach the basic truths of life in an easy and amusing manner. In his writings, he has raised the question of morality in everyday life, means how the people's behavior should be, the morality of the people, politeness of the people. That question has been raised by this writer Alfred George Gardiner. Now, the lesson we are going to read here, in this lesson on saying please, Gardiner points out about the value of good manners in the society, in our social life, and the importance of courtesy and politeness in the daily behavior. He also shows how polite speech or polite manner sweeten or relaxes the atmosphere, and how the discourtesy or impoliteness, ill manners, spoil or pollute the atmosphere around us in the society. That has been focused and emphasized by the writer Alfred George Gardiner. So let us read this lesson on saying please and find out what and how Alfred Gardiner has point out about the good manners in the society and in our daily life. So let us read on saying please. Here the speaker is the writer himself, Gardiner. The young liftman in a city office who threw a passenger out of his lift the other morning and was fined for the offense was undoubtedly in the wrong. See this. The young liftman had thrown out one of the passengers one of the mornings out of the lift, and that liftman was been fined for his mistake, for his offense, which was no doubt in the wrong thing. It was a question of please. Now, why that liftman just thrown out that passenger out of the lift? It was the matter of please. It was the matter of behavior of that passenger. The complainant entering the lift said, "Top." The liftman demanded, "Top, please." And this concession being refused, he not only declined to comply his instruction but hurled the passenger out of the lift. So when that passenger entered into the lift, he said directly, very rudely, "Top." But the liftman denied and he demanded that, "Please say top, please." And the concession being refused, he not only declined to comply his instructions but hurled the passenger out of the lift. This, of course, was carrying a comment on manner too far. Now, the behavior of the passenger and whatever the comment of the liftman, it was definitely carrying the matter of manner discourtesy is not a legal offense and it does not excuse assault or battery. Now, being discourteous or being impolite is not a legal offense, and even it does not excuse assault or battery. Now, what do you mean by assault or battery? An attack which includes not only threats but also the actual use of violence. So, being discourteous does not excuse any assault or battery or an attack or use of violence. If a burglar breaks into my house and I knock him down, the law will acquit me. And if I am physically assaulted, it will permit me to retaliate with a reasonable violence. Serious. He had given one more example that if a thief enters into the house of the author forcibly, and if the writer knocks him down, if the writer had some fight with him, the law will definitely acquit me. Means the law will definitely uh, give him a concession. And if I am physically assaulted, it will permit me to retaliate with a reasonable violence. And if the writer is been physically assaulted by the burglar, the law will permit him to retaliate, means to do something bad to the other person, to the burglar, means to have a fight with the reasonable violence, means the small violence can be done by with the burglar by the writer, and no law can stop him. It does this because the burglar and my assailant have broken quite definite commands of the law. Now, why the law will allow him to do so? Because the burglar as well as the writer had flouted some rules, and assailants and attacker have broken quite definite commands of the law. There are some rules of the law, and that those were been flouted by the burglar and by the writer himself. But no legal system could attempt to legislate against bad manners or could sanction the use of violence against something which it does not itself recognize as a legally punishable offense. See this. But there is no legal system which could attempt to legislate against bad manners. Means if somebody behaves badly in the society, there is no law to legislate or to make any law against the bad manners, or no law could sanction the use of violence against something which it does not itself recognize as a legally punishable offense. Means the bad manner is not a legal offense, or legal punishments are not there for bad manners. And our sympathy with the liftman, we must admit that the law is reasonable. But whatever the liftman was been fined for, it was very much reasonable, and the sympathy is with the liftman. We feel sympathized with the liftman. We definitely feel bad for the liftman, and we would admit it that the law was reasonable. It would never do if we were at liberty to box people's ears because we did not like their behavior. So, or the tone of their voices, or the scroll of their faces. Serious. It would never do if we were at liberty to box people's ears. Means, if we have the liberty, if we definitely have the freedom, then also we cannot fight with the people's ears because we did not like their behavior, or the tone of their voices of or their speaking, or the feelings or emotions on their faces. Though we have the freedom, we cannot fight with them. Our feasts would never be idle, and the gutters of the city would run with the blood all day. So, if such kind of allowance is given to the people to fight with the others for the ill behavior or the bad behaviors, the gutters would uh, feel with the blood all day. There would be fightings all the day. So that's why we do not have that freedom to fight with others for ill behaviors. I may be as uncivil as I may please, and a law will protect me against violent retaliation. I may be haughty or boorish, and there is no penalty to pay except the penalty of being written down an ill mannered fellow. So, any person can be uncivilized, can be uncultured, or ill behaved, but the law will protect me against violent retaliation. Okay, he may be, the writer may be uncivilized or uh, ill mannered. The law will protect him against violent retaliation. He may be haughty, he may be boorish. Boorish means what? Rude or uncultured. But there is no penalty to pay except penalty of being written down as an ill-mannered fellow. For the ill manners of the people, he would be only labeled as ill-mannered fellow. There is no law, there is no penalty, there is no punishment for the ill manners. The law does not compel me to say please or to attune my voice to other people's sensibility any more than it says that I shall not wax my mustache or dye my hair or wear ringlets down my back. It does not recognize the ac- laceration of our feelings as a case of compensation. There is no allowance for moral and intellectual damages in these matters. So, the law does not compel me, means it is not compulsory to say please or to be polite or to attune my voice to other people's sensibilities any more than it says that I shall not wax my mustache or dye my hair or wear ringlets down my back. So there is no compensation or there is no compulsion of being polite with the others or to low the tune or to say the things in a polite manner to other people's sensibilities anymore. There is no allowance for moral and intellectual damages in these matters. So, to cut the mustache or to wax the mustaches or dye the hair or wear ringlets down the back, down at the back, in such matters, the moral and intellectual damages, there is no allowance. There is no allowance for moral and intellectual damages in these matters. This does not mean that the damages are negligible. So, when somebody behaves impolitely, there are some damages, though it not may be physical damage, but there are mental or uh, psychological damages are there, and these kind of damages are not at all negligible. It is probable that the liftman was much more acutely hurt by what he regarded as a slur upon his social standing than he would have been if he had a kick on the shines for which he could have got a legal redress. See this. It is probable that the liftman was much more acutely hurt by what he regarded as a slur upon his social standing. His post as a liftman was very small on the social standing, and he might have felt very hurt in his mind. But uh, if he would have been got kick on his shines for which he could have got a legal redress. uh, Redress means what? Redress, there may be some legal action taken against him, but he got hurt in his mind. And one who gets the kick on the shine and one who is hurt mentally or psychologically with the words are the same things. And here also the lift man got hurt. The pain of a kick on the shines soon passes away, but the pain of a wound to our self respect or our vanity may poison a whole day. So, if somebody is got hurt physically, it might go away, it might get cured after some time, but the of a of a wound of our self respect or our vanity, our pride, it might spoil our whole day, it might poison a whole day. I can imagine that the liftman denied the relief of throwing the author of his wound out of the lift, brooding over the insult by the hour, and visiting his wife in the evening as the only way of restoring his equilibrium. See this. So, the writer says that he definitely imagines, he can understand that the liftman who had denied the relief of throwing the author of his wound out of the lift, he must be brooding over, he must be thinking anxiously, he must be uh, thinking in his mind that he was being fined for his bad behavior with the passenger, though it was not a bad behavior, and he must be having a relief only by visiting his wife in the evening, and he must be thinking of his insult by that hour, and he must be thinking that visiting his wife in the evening as the only way to restore, to get cured of his insult, of his hurt. For there are few things more catching than bad temper and bad manners. So, to being bad mannered or being bad temper, there are much more things, much more important things than to be a bad mannered or bad tempered. When Sir Anthony Absolute bullied Captain Absolute, the latter went out and bullied his man. Fag, whereupon Fag went out downstairs and kicked the page boy. See this. So it is one more example the author is putting forward. Sir Anthony Absolute, page boy. This amusing incident is described in the Act 3 of The Rivals, a comedy of Sheridan series. Here, the incident from the book The Rivals 1775, which is a comedy of Sheridan, where the Sir Anthony Absolute bullied means what? Teased or troubled the Captain Absolute, and the latter went out. The captain went out downstairs and kicked the page boy. Now, page boy means what? Page boy, a small boy downstairs. So, that captain had taken revenge on the other when he went out and bullied the other person, that page boy. Latter went out and bullied his man, page boy, fag boy, whereupon fag went out downstairs and kicked the page boy. Probably the man who said top to the liftman was really only getting back on his employer who had not said good morning to him, and because he himself had been henpecked by at breakfast by his wife. So, as the captain had bullied the other person, he got bad tempered and he just taken out his temper on the other person. Here in this example also, uh, that passenger must have just carried out his temper on the other person who said top to the lift man. uh, he must have getting back his employer who had not said good morning. The person who had not said good morning to him, he must have taken the revenge on the other person to him, because he himself had been henpecked by breakfast by his wife. Okay, to whom the cook had been insolent because the housemaid had answered her back. So, when somebody got hurt with the others, every person tries to take revenge, or he just take out or carry out his temper on the other person, and that is the bad manner. अगर कोई आपको हर्ट करता है या फिर आपको बुरा भला कहता है, तो आप क्या करते हो? यू ट्राई टू जस्ट टेक आउट दैट टेम्पर ऑन द अदर्स. That might have happened in these cases also. So, probably the man who said top to the liftman was really only getting back on his employer who had not said good morning to him, because he himself had been henpecked. Henpecked means what? Insulted. Henpecked? Insulted at breakfast by his wife, to whom the cook had been insolent because the housemaid had answered her back. See this. So the the person who had taken his temper on employer was being bullied by his wife was being bullied by the, and insulted by the housemaid. So everyone tries to take out their temper on the others.